Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Last month, South Carolina lawmakers heard arguments in favor of legalizing medical marijuana. A statewide coalition of patients, families, and advocates are working to establish a comprehensive medical cannabis program. The group is called SC Compassion. Kathy Stevens is a member, and she's advocating for her sick daughter. She joins me with more on the group's efforts. Thank you, Kathy, for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
So how did it go last month when you took this before the legislature?
Well, it went very well. We have very strong bipartisan support in the House and the Senate, and so I think all the families advocating for medical cannabis are feeling positive about the South Carolina Compassionate Care Act, though we have a good bit of work to do before it goes to a vote later this spring.
Now, some of the patients that are advocating and their families, what are their diagnoses? What does this help with?
So we have a number of individuals and then parents of children with epilepsy. We also have a number of individuals with post-traumatic stress, with arthritis, some with cancer. There are a whole host of diagnoses that medical cannabis can help with. But personally, I'm fighting for my daughter with severe epilepsy.
Tell me a little bit about her. What's her name?
Well, her name is Hallie, and she is 7 years old. And I never would have expected to be an advocate for medical cannabis in my life.
Right.
But she started having seizures when she was 1, and she has she had them every week, and then we started using cannabis from the hemp plant. So hemp cannabis is legal, but medical marijuana cannabis is not, and that's what we're advocating for. But she's had even relief from the seizures with the hemp cannabis. They've gone from 7 a month to maybe 1 or 2. So we would have even greater success with medical marijuana cannabis.
Is it something, how do you administer?
There are different ways to administer it, but we use an oil that's produced, and what's so great about that is the manufacturers make sure that what you're getting from month to month is consistent, just like any medicine. I mean, we really do think of medical cannabis as a medicine, and for her it's an oil. Other people take it in other forms.
So are you breaking the law right now?
I'm not breaking the law. Okay. No, hemp cannabis
that's what you're using.
Is legal, but the hemp plant does not have as much cannabis in it as the marijuana plant, and so therefore as she grows, it likely will not work as well for her.
So right now you're able to get it into this state. I mean, get it in this state.
Yes, we are.
I'm sure other people in your group are going to outside sources.
Yes, I mean, I think as a parent of someone with a severe disability, you really will do almost anything for your child, and so we've known people who have moved to get what they need for their child. I mean, we all think of this as a medicine that the doctors should have in their toolbox. It's it's another prescription we should have available because it really does help with so many diagnoses.
Okay, so where are you going to take it from here after you went before the legislature? You said there's a bill.
There's a bill. It's called the South Carolina Compassionate Care Act, and we're in the stage right now where we're all calling our legislators, our House and Senate members, so we need as much support as we can get over the next few months to the end of the South Carolina legislative session. So there's a great chance it's going to pass. In fact, there was a poll that Winthrop did, and 78% of South Carolinians have said that they would like to see medical cannabis legalized. And there are very few issues in our state that have that kind of support. So I just encourage everyone to call their legislators or to get involved with South Carolina Compassion. We have this tremendous grassroots group doing a lot of work around the state and advocating right now.
The lawmakers that are opposed to it, what are they opposed to exactly?
Sure. I think that the fear is that having medical cannabis will lead to recreational usage. And I always say we are smart enough as a people to figure that out. You know, there are so many medicines that are legal, the opioids, that are so much worse, that have so many more harmful side effects. So this needs to be controlled, but I think the fear is that this is going to become a law enforcement issue. That really hasn't happened in places where there are medical cannabis bills that have been passed. There are 28 other states that have them. I think that puts us in a good position because we can learn from what's worked and we can learn from what hasn't worked in terms of ensuring that it is controlled by doctors, gotten as a prescription, and that doesn't lead to any kind of recreational usage.
So you're encouraging viewers and other supporters to call their lawmakers and say, let's vote this thing through.
Please call your lawmakers and just think, if you're someone who's never been on the positive side of this issue for making it legal, just think about, I say to people, just think about if you had a family member who had a severe disability and it was this one thing that was reducing seizures, or you probably know someone with post-traumatic stress disorder, and medical cannabis can really reduce that and make the quality of life so much better. I just encourage everyone to think about that, and please contact your lawmakers and encourage them to pass this bill this year.
And is there another medicine that can replace that?
There's really not. I mean, there are many, in terms of epilepsy, there are many seizure medicines, and we've tried them, and some of them have worked. So that's why I do just think of this as another medicine. It has a pretty high success rate.
Okay. So when do you think this bill is going to come up for a vote?
I think it's going to come up for a vote in April or May.
Really?
Yeah.
This year?
This year.
Well, we'll see.
I hope it passes. We don't want to wait another year.
Now, you have more than your daughter.
I do.
Okay.
I have 2 sons who are typical and don't have epilepsy.
Okay. And what do you tell them about that, the marijuana?
About so I have a 2-year-old, so he doesn't really know.
Okay.
But my 8-year-old is fascinated. I mean, he knows that this is an issue we're supporting as a family. He can spout off words like mitochondrial disease, which is what she has, and medical cannabis. But you know, I think as a parent, I have a responsibility to teach him not to use drugs.
Right.
And we talk a lot about the differentiation between like a drug we take when we take a leave for a headache versus an illegal drug. Right. And we talk about the need for this to be a legalized medication that's a drug that his sister can take. And you know what? He has seen her have so many seizures in his life. In fact, he handles them better than I do. He'll say, "Oh, Hallie's having a seizure," and he's so amazing at witnessing that and not being alarmed. But he wants her to have cannabis to help with that as well, because he knows that they make her get sick, they make her tired, then she can't do anything else for the rest of the day. So we're able to have those kind of nuanced conversations.
Well, every parent should have that conversation regardless. So
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you
being
so
here
much
today.
for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right, and if you want to go online to find out more about this organization, you can go to their website. It's sccompassion.com. Focus on the Palmetto State. We'll be right back.